Hi, this is Carmel, the Crazy Cricket Lady, and I'm going to show you how to make the three-dimensional envelopes. Now let's say, for instance, you have a 5x7 card, but because of embellishments or other things, it's a little thicker and you can't put it in a regular envelope without squishing it. I'm going to show you how to make the box envelope, or the three-dimensional envelope, which has that little lip all the way around. And it's made a lot the same way as the other envelopes, with just a few little changes, and I'll show them to you. But first of all, here we have our 5x7 card, and we have our envelope, and this happens to be a free envelope. We're going to unlock it, and we're going to shrink down this. And we're going to make this 5x7. Remember, we want a little bit of an edge on it so that it can slide in and out of the envelope. I'm getting a little better at this because I have to do dozens of these to prepare these videos. Okay, that's our 5x7 envelope. And we're going to hide this. That's our card. We need to cut the edges off this, as we did in the final segment of the last video. So we're going to make this 5x7 to start with because it's just easier than sizing it up all the time. But it isn't quite the size we needed, so I'm going to position this here, and we're going to make this just a slight bit bigger than the envelope so that we can make the edges. And this envelope is asymmetrical, so it eliminates the ability to center. So all of this has to be eyeballed. Now, we're going to select just the envelope for right now, and we're going to detach it. And we're going to take this score line, move it off to the side, and hide it because we'll use that again later. Now, with this out here like this, it makes this a little easier. Okay, that's centered. So we'll select both of these and slice them. There's the center of our envelope, and we're going to change the color. We're going to make it purple. Now I'm going to go through and duplicate all the sides and eliminate the extras. So I showed you how to do that in section 4. Watch that again if you need to know how to do that. But basically, I'm making 4 copies of the sides and selecting contour and getting rid of the ones that we don't want. And that way, just that top. And I'm going to do all of that off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, now we've got our envelope. But we want to add little bitty sides to it, and we don't need this right now. We want to make the lip around it. So we're going to get rid of the sides. We don't need them right now. We need to work with the main piece. Let's say you want a 1/2-inch lip around the whole thing. You made a really thick card and you need to make it a 1/2 inch thick for the envelope to be right. You double that and you make each of the sides, first unlock it, each of the sides 1 inch bigger. 6 by 8. We're going to duplicate this and change this into a score line. Now we're going to put this, but we're going to bring back the other score line. And this should exactly fit in the center, so we're going to center it. In the back so that we can see it. Okay, see, we've added a 1/2 inch around each of the squares. Now I'm going to blow this up a little more because we're going to need to see this. And attach that score line where it is so that I can move it around. Now what we'll need is a score line. But we're not going to use it as a score line. We're going to use it as a cut line. And we're going to make it a 1/2 inch. Actually, we're going to make it 0.6 because we want it to be just a little bigger, and you line it up as close as you can with that score line. There. Now, duplicate that. And we'll put that one on the opposite corner. That one goes down here. Lined up exactly. And then we're going to need to duplicate this, but rotate it 90 degrees. Do you remember telling your geometry teacher that you'd never use this ever again? Well, he was right. He was right. You were wrong. I know. Okay, we're going to line that up right. Nope, that's a little high. There. And duplicate that again and do it in the opposite corner. Okay. Now, if you'll notice, and you'll notice the first one goes up, the second one goes out, down, and over. Sort of forms a pinwheel. That's the way you want them. Now I'm going to shrink it down one more, and I'm going to bring all the sides back. And we'll use that, but you want to line these up with the inner circle or the inner score lines. You put them on the edge, but you want them lined up with the score lines on the inside, and you want this score line to be on the outside. We're going to have to put flaps on this inner envelope. So put these off to the side. What we need to do is put flaps on this so we have something to attach these to. So we're going to make a flap. You all remember how I showed you how to do this. The easiest way to make a flap is with an octagon and a square. And we'll size them a little bit, but basically right now I just need a shape. Okay, we have this now, and we want this to be the same size as this inner score. So I'm going to duplicate this just to get the inner measurements and pull it over here. We want them to be 5271 that direction. So we're going to make this 5.271, and a good width for these is about 0.3. And that's the way we want to attach that right there. Now we'll need another one. Now we'll just flip this one horizontally because it should, or sorry, flip this one vertically because it should be the same size. And now we'll duplicate it again, rotate it 90 degrees, and it should be, remember this is here just for size reference, 7147. So we want to unlock that and make that 7147. Yep, that one. And we'll duplicate it and flip it horizontally. And line this up with the inner square. Now take this square and we're going to detach it for a second. I'm going to take the solid piece and each of the sides and weld them. We'll make it pink again. and send it to the back. And there, all of our score lines are still there. So we're going to immediately select it and attach it. And this one we just needed for a size reference, so we can delete that one. Now these sides will go right there, and as you can see, the flaps will hold them on. Something for us to glue to. And this is the basic format of the envelope. Now I will show you in a video segment how you glue this together because it's a little touchy, but we will glue it all together and then you will have your three-dimensional envelope. Hi everybody. These are the pieces of the envelope, and here's how you put them together. First, you recrease all these folds along the sides here. And then you start forming a box. The little tabs here need to be glued, and I use art glitter glue exclusively. Put the glue on the tabs and fold the edges up so that you form a square corner. Like that. And you repeat that for all the other corners. You bend the flap up, put some glue on it. And glue the corner up. Now you don't glue the top corners in quite yet because you want to be able to sit your card in there. But you do want to fold them and make sure they're all ready to go. And then you glue it. You make sure all of your tops are turned down, and you glue these edges on them with the outside of glue the edges on them with the flap on top. Like that. And then glue the sides. And you want, like I said, you want the flaps on top and facing inward. But you want the big flaps on top of the little flaps. And make sure you have them right along the edge. And then you'll want to glue these where they overlap so that you create a nice box. And we'll want to get this top flap on here. Now, then you take your 5x7 card, which I just happen to have one. That'll be on the webpage soon. Put it in there. Bend your flaps down. And tuck them in. You can glue them, and it's probably a good idea to glue them. But don't put the glue on too heavy because you don't want it dripping onto your card at all. And there you have a box card, and I'm just going to put a dot of glue here. Usually I use double sticky tape, but I don't have any upstairs where my computer's at. And there you have a box envelope that holds a thicker card. And you can do this in a variety of colors and shapes, and then when they go to open the card, they should be able to slide the card out. And that's how you glue together your three-dimensional envelope, with the little box envelope. You can make them all the same color, the flaps the same color as the envelope if you want. I did it a different color so that you could see what I was doing and what needed to be and didn't need to be the same color. This is Carmel. I'm the Crazy Cricket Lady, and this has been how to make three-dimensional custom envelopes for any card that you want to make. If you have any questions, you can reach me at blog@crazycricketlady.com. You can reach me at my Facebook group, or you can message me underneath this video and I'll get back to it. I see all comments.